It is Wednesday, the 20th of November, 2024. My name is Pigeon Rose, and this is my song of the day. Today we're talking about an Australian artist named Brendan Maclean. Now, he hasn't released that much music in his career for whatever reason. Maybe because he's also an actor. I don't know. But he has released a bunch of EPs and 2 albums. And the song we're talking about today is on the EP Population, which was released in 2014. And that song is the song Stupid. Now, I first heard this song through Welcome to Night Vale, which, if you're not familiar, is a surreal horror / comedy / drama / political commentary podcast. And one of the surreal things about it is that they do regular news radio segments, but they aren't how those segments go. Like, they'll say, "And now a word from our sponsors," and it'll be this long eldritch horror rant, or they'll say, "And now traffic," and it'll be something else entirely that has nothing to do with traffic. And one of the things that happens in each episode is Cecil says, "And now I take you to the weather." And the weather report is just a song. They just play a song. And it's a great way to discover great new music and older music as well, because the guys who make Night Vale have great taste. And this is one of the songs that was featured as a weather song in Welcome to Night Vale. Specifically, it was featured in the episode called Company Picnic, which was released 2014, the same year this EP came out. And it just stuck in my head immediately, and I went and listened to his other stuff. And I'll always have a soft spot for this song. I don't know if it's my favorite of his. It might be. Beat Me To It is also really good, though, and Winner. Oh, and Tectonic. Okay, I don't know if this is my favorite song by Brendan Maclean, but it's up there. Anyway, I heartily recommend watching the music video if you can, because I will be talking about the music video and it's great, and it helps with elucidating the theme of the song a bit. But however you listen to it, let's go listen to it now and then come back in a few minutes and talk about it. And that is Stupid by Brendan Maclean. Now, this is one of those songs that combines serious, sad lyrics with cheery, bouncy pop music. And I enjoy that genre very much so. And this is perfectly displayed in the music video, which we'll get to, but we'll talk about the song first. Lyrically, it's about someone talking to their ex and kind of rationalizing their breakup, and they're just blaming their ex for everything. They're telling them all of these bad things that are the reason why they broke up, but also they're clearly jealous of their new partner, and just kind of it feels very insincere, all these things they're saying. It's like, how much of this do you actually believe, and how much do you actually just want to get back together with this person, right? Is the idea of it. This person who has this internal conflict of, "I hate my ex, they suck, and I wish they loved me," right? Sort of thing. Meanwhile, the music is all I love that. The music video features Brendan Maclean dancing to the song in this room where there's a party. There's chairs lined up, there's balloons tied to the windows, there's cake, there's a piñata, there's all sorts of stuff. And sitting at the table is a woman in a party hat crying. And throughout the video, Brendan is dancing joyously, singing along to the song, just completely lost in the song, so happy. And she's in the background breaking down. She starts off just crying and looking around herself. Then she's throwing things on the table around the place. She gets up and stumbles over one of the chairs. She starts tearing down the streamers. She throws the cake. And then the music video ends with Brendan skipping away off screen and her walking up to the camera, just sobbing, and her makeup is running down her cheeks and her hands are full of cake. And it's a really interesting, everyone says this on the music video comments, but he's the music and she's the lyrics. And it's a simple and effective way to demonstrate that, and also a really heartbreaking music video to watch. Even if it has this kind of silly air to it, you understand it. You feel her rage and sadness in that video, you know what I mean? Anyway, let's go through the lyrics. "If you weren't so stupid, I could have loved you. And if you weren't so stupid, but you're pretty stupid. And if you weren't so busy, I could have loved you, but you work in an office and you've got other offers. Tell me, what is his name now? What is his name? I'm excited to hear the news. Tell me, what is his name now? What does it say about you? But let's not be friends, or else this will never end. Let's not be friends for sure, for sure." So he starts off with the title line. He says, "If you weren't so stupid, I could have loved you. And if you weren't so stupid, but you're pretty stupid." And like I said, you're trying to kind of discern, does he actually think this person's stupid, or is he saying that as well, you're stupid, that's why I don't love you. He's just kind of rationalizing it away, right? And then, "If you weren't so busy, I could have loved you, but you work in an office and you've got other offers." Now, I've heard some people suggest that this line implies that his ex actually cheated on him, but that's never conclusively stated. So it's a theory, an interesting one. But he says this idea of, you've got other offers offers, right? And so it certainly feels like whoever this person is, other people flirted with them, but it also could hint at the narrator having this sort of jealous paranoia of like, oh, everyone's flirting with you, when maybe they're not actually. It's just how this person perceives it because they're like that, right? And then, tell me, what is his name now? What is his name? I'm excited to hear the news. Tell me, what is his name? What does it say about you? He's like saying, you know, oh yeah, go on, tell me about your new boyfriend. I'm excited to hear the news. Like it's sarcastic. It's like, oh yeah, please tell me about the guy who replaced me. But tell me, what is his name? What does it say about you? Makes me think, I interpret it as him saying like, is the name similar to my name? Like, what does it say about you that you dated someone with that name? Do you get what I mean? And then the chorus being, but let's not be friends or else this will never end. Let's not be friends for sure, for sure. He's saying like, if we want these feelings to remain in the past, we have to not be friends with each other. And then the second verse, and if you weren't so ugly, I could have loved you. It's something I tell myself when down to get high. Lord, if you made me a coffee, I could have loved you, and I'd make you hot chocolate and anything you wanted. Tell me who is invited, so fucking delighted to see all the boys you see. Tell me, why don't I fight it? What does it say about me? And let's not be friends, or else this will never end. Let's not be friends, for sure, for sure. We'd adopt. I'd have all the things he's got, but I'm not. So he's continuing with this like spiteful insults, right? If you weren't so ugly, I could have loved you. But then he acknowledges it's something I tell myself when down to get high. So he's acknowledging like, this is just something I tell myself. It's not necessarily true, especially when down to get high, presumably like he's using substances to get away from his feelings, right? If you made me a coffee, I could have loved you, and I'd make you hot chocolate and anything you wanted. So now his feelings are coming out because he's saying like, you know, oh, if you had made me a coffee, I could have loved you. Like if you had been generous. But then he's like, oh, I would have made anything for you though. And then we get, tell me who's invited, so fucking delighted to see all the boys you see. Who is invited? And the music video involving a party makes me think of that, but it's not really related. But it makes me think like he's just talking about other people being there and him being jealous of them again, I guess. And then tell me, why don't I fight it? What does it say about me? And so here he's saying like, he's acknowledging like, I'm just making excuses to see you and talk to you even though our relationship is over. And then he goes back into the let's not be friends. And then there's the little coda to that, which is we'd adopt of all the things he's got, but I'm not. So like he's trying to insist that they could have a happy life together, they'd adopt kids, and you know, he would have all the things that their partner has, but he's not him. And then we get like a little instrumental bit, and then it does one of those things that I love, and I've talked about it on the show before, where the song stops for a sec and then continues. It goes, so let's stop, pretend. Although in the music video, the pause is even longer. It goes, so let's stop, and he stops dancing, and the woman like lifts the cake aloft, and there's a big pause, and then we get the pretend, and like confetti falls from the ceiling, and she throws the fucking cake. Oh, God, I love that. So then the line is, so let's stop, pretend that there'll be a happy end. Let's not be friends for sure, for sure. We'd adopt, we'd have dogs. I'd have all the things he's got, but I'm not. So he's saying, yeah, we can't continue this if we're going to move on. Let's stop, pretend that there'll be a happy end. Let's not be friends. He's kind of contradicting himself, but he's acknowledging that what they need to do is move on. But then he says, we'd adopt, we'd have dogs. Like, we could have children and pets. I'd have all the things he's got, but I'm not. Once again, acknowledging he is not their partner. I really like this song. I think it's really interestingly complex for something that doesn't sound complex and is called Stupid, but I really enjoy it, and I'm glad it was featured on Night Vale because I got to be introduced to it and his wider work as well. Like I said, I recommend some of his other songs. Winner, which is the song previous to this on this EP, great song. I love Beat Me To It if you want like a slower ballady sort of song. Tectonic is a great dancey song from his first album, Fun Bang 1. I quote Hugs Not Drugs or Both a lot. We want hugs, not drugs, or both if it's available. Also, his cover of Rejazz by Regina Spektor is really fucking good. It's on his EP, Thought I'd Cry For You Forever, which is the first line of that song, and it's so good. So that's going to be it for this episode. Thank you so much for listening. Please hit like, hit subscribe, leave a comment down below, tell me what you think, tell other people about this show, and I will talk to you tomorrow.
Break it down.
Now, he hasn't released that much money, despite being active for a while. Money? Why did I say money? Thought I'd cry for you forever, but I couldn't. so I didn't. People's children die and they don't even cry forever. I thought I'd see your face in my mind for all time, but I don't even remember what your ears looked like. Anyway,